Truly the day was not like other days. Though the sky was bright, the path to the stream felt eerie. When she got to the stream and was about to fetch the water, a figure quickly emerged from the water. The creature looked so human-like, but there was something alluring about her. Her bright purple eyes, her shiny skin that made the whole place bright, made Rose have to cover her eyes for a moment. Her bright red hair could be mistaken for fire. Her presence was majestic. She called herself the goddess of fruit. She told Rose that her prayers were answered and she would bear twins of different paths. The first to come out would be the light, and the second would be darkness. The moment she said that, she disappeared. Rose was so scared that she ran away from the stream, leaving her water behind. She told her husband and friends about what she had seen, but none believed her. A few months in, Rose noticed she was pregnant, and what she had seen wasn't a dream but real. The couple was so happy. They threw a huge party and invited the whole village. The villagers ate and were merry to their satisfaction. On one faithful night which was gloomy and still, the stars and the moon went into hiding that night. Everywhere was pitch black and eerie. Rose's water broke. She went into early labor. Her husband had to run into the darkness to get the midwife. Right then, a heavy thunderbolt struck and shook the whole village. Many people woke up but were afraid to confront the night and just remained indoors. As the midwife walked into the house, Rose delivered her first twin. And the second, she was hard to birth. The mother and the midwife struggled for hours, and as she was born, a loud wind blew. Her cries were like thunder. At that moment, Rose fell into a trance. She could see the goddess raising her soul up and looking deep into her eyes. With tears in her eyes and a tired expression, she tried reaching for her kids, but she couldn't. Rose had bled a lot. She didn't survive. On that fateful night, the farmer's home, which had longed for a child, finally welcomed two but lost the mistress. There was a mix of joy and sorrow, and their birth couldn't be celebrated. Just like the prophecy, the two twins were different. Apart from their looks, they shared nothing in common. They were like two sides of a coin, polar opposites. After the death of their mother, their father decided to devote himself to caring for them. Lit was bright, smart, and lovely. From her childhood, she was loved by everyone. She was the meaning of perfection. She always attracted all the good things and was very intelligent. She had always wanted to be a nurse, and her career path was perfect for her, as she loved helping people. She was loved by the older ones and admired by the younger ones. Anywhere she went, she would spread peace and love with her radiant smile. But it wasn't the same for Dark. Dark was known as a walking disaster, and it was widely known that anywhere she stepped into, she brought trouble. She always wore a frown and was avoided by everyone. Just like Lit, Dark wanted to be a nurse, but her intellect and attitude got in the way. She had always tried to be good, but every time she tried, she caused an even bigger trouble. She wasn't bad within, neither did she plan to do evil, but everything she did always ended up in the wrong way. Everything she wanted was always far from her reach. Like an incident that happened when they were 10 years old. Their father was sick, and Lit had taken it upon herself to take care of her father and the home. She had cleaned the house, fed their animals, and prepared lunch. Their father was so happy, and he praised Lit. "Oh, Lit, you are really the light of the world." The next day, Dark decided to also surprise her dad. She woke up very early before the cock's last crow and had gone to feed the animals. She cleaned the house until it sparkled and decided to make breakfast. She placed the oil on the fire and decided to sit for a minute. She was tired from all the work. She didn't know when she fell asleep. She woke up to heavy smoke. The house was burning. She had forgotten the hot oil and now it had exploded. She was surrounded by flames. She tried her best to get out and was injured by the fire, which left a huge scar on her face. When she finally got out of the fire, she saw a huge crowd around her home. No one thought she would survive the fire, but she did. Her dad and sister were already rescued by the people before the flames engulfed the whole house. Her father and sister were both free from harm, unlike her. Their home got destroyed that day, and all their animals had died from poisoning, as the feed she gave them was infected. Nobody believed her good intentions. They saw her as an evil child who only derived joy in ruining things. Why her good deed had caused harm to her home, their farm, and her face. After that, the twins were easily differentiated, as she became the ugly twin. She wasn't smart and was way behind Lit in class. Also, there was this hot boy Dark liked when she was 14 years old. She had a huge crush and asked him out. He rejected her and later started dating Lit. This made Dark so jealous. The two sisters were never close. Although Lit had tried to be friends with Dark, Dark hated her and envied her. Lit grew up and became a nurse. She got a job easily and was working in one of the biggest hospitals in town. She married a rich man and was living happily. While dark, she couldn't finish school. She became a public nuisance and couldn't do anything useful. She still lived with their old dad, and her scar made her face even uglier. She was always unhappy. She had a boyfriend, but he wasn't what she wanted. She got pregnant and her boyfriend left her. Her life was a total shambles. Later on, their dad died and Dark had no one to rely on. She cried hard on her father's grave. The only person who loved her was gone. Because of her bad reputation, she couldn't get a job. Her life was in ruins. One gloomy night, just like the night they were born, the rain was pouring heavily. Dark came out into the rain and cried hard. She didn't know what she had done to deserve such a life. She cried and cursed God. Why is my life this bad but my sister's isn't? Why is my life so sad? These were the questions she kept screaming in the rain. There was no one for her. She wanted a perfect life like her sister's, but she couldn't. Suddenly a gust of wind blew and the goddess appeared to her. She told her she had listened to her and gave her an apple. She told her to chew it if she wanted to restart her life. What she had to do was to be the first twin to come out, and she would be the light. But the cost was that the moment she stepped into the world, she would lose this memory. Dark hurriedly took and ate the apple as she couldn't wait to be the light. The moment she took the last bite, everything stopped. The world stopped. Time stopped. Then everything became upside down, and in a flash she relived all her memories and was back in her mother's womb. But this time she became the first twin and became light. But as the goddess said, she lost all her memory of being dark. Now she became lit and lived the exact same life of lit. And lit became dark and lived the life of dark. The new dark also cried and caused trouble and was given the apple to restart her life. She ate it and went back to the womb and became the first twin again. The loop never ends, as both kept going on and on. It said that they had continued to repeat this cycle, and their first life we knew of wasn't the first, and no one knows the last, as the loop continues. Now the question left for us to answer is, who is really lit, and who is really dark? Truly the day was not like